Hello. Today we're going to talk about the solubility of wax, paraffin wax, in various solvents. Now these solvents that we're using today are water, ethanol, acetone, and cyclohexane. So this experiment is looking at the solubility depending on the polarity of the solvent. Okay, so one option that we can use is take a test tube and drop some flakes of wax into the test tube and see how it dissolves. However, today we're going to use a slightly different method using these cover glasses and Q-tips, and we're going to rub the wax onto a clean piece of glass here. Rub it in. Now this is similar to how you would waterproof a pair of cotton pants or jacket. The same principle. However, we're not going to warm this to heat it in to make it even. You could if you like. Anyway, so here we have a surface which has been rubbed in with wax. Here we have one that's completely clean. Okay? Now, let's look at what happens if we drop water onto these surfaces. Now, on the one surface, you get that effect where it beads up. On the other one, it sort of spreads out a little more. Okay, so you have more surface tension on here than you have on here, and that's a result of the wax. Okay, next step. Let's get rid of this. Wipe that off. We still use the same cover glass. And let's try with ethanol. What happens with ethanol? We have ethanol on these surfaces. Okay, so ethanol slightly less polar than water. Don't get the same beating effect here. And likewise here, it behaves differently. But there is a little slight difference between here and here, as you can tell. Right? There is a slight ridge here on the edge of the liquid. Okay, so now let's see if we can dissolve the wax using a Q-tip and this ethanol here. Now you can try to rub it, but it's not rubbing off. And this is important, and this is one reason why you really want to do this lab at home or at school. To actually feel the difference, these subtle differences between the different solvents. So let's wipe that off. Let's wipe that off here as well. Okay. Now, what about acetone? What will acetone do? Well, acetone, we're not going to pour it on here. We don't really need to. We're just going to wet the Q-tip, tip of the Q-tip in here. Take one side of this and see if we can dissolve it. Now it's a little bit of a different feeling with acetone as compared to alcohol. Yet you see how it's dissolving, and it seems to, as the acetone evaporates, it stays there, the wax stays there. So it's soluble to a certain extent, but not very. Now, let's try cyclohexane. We'll do the same thing with a Q-tip. And rub it in. Now you can tell that doing this how it just melts. It seems to melt away, which really means it's not melting, it's dissolving. It's dissolving very easily and is becoming very soft in the presence of cyclohexane. So cyclohexane actually is something we could clean this surface with less rubbing than acetone would require. And that is the end of today's lesson. Rate this video and please add your comments and your critique. Thank you very much.